How to Spot a Fake Louis Vuitton Bag, brought to you by www.collectinglouisvuitton.com. Okay, today we're going to look at how to spot a fake Louis Vuitton bag. Now, this is probably the most asked question that any Louis Vuitton fan will get asked. How do you tell a fake from the real deal? Well, the first thing I always say is have a look at the bag. A genuine bag, a Louis Vuitton bag from Les Speedy, you're looking at almost $1,000. Looking at like an Alma, $1,200 to $1,400 mark. Looking at the more expensive Epi products and the more exotic leathers, you're looking at easily over $2,000 there. So I always say, look at the bag, and does it look like a bag that cost $1,000, or does it look like just a cheap, crappy bag? Now, what I mean by that is the real deal will have really nice stitching. It'll have really nice interior, and it'll just have that quality feel to it. So take a look at the bag, and does it look like a $1,000 bag, or does it look like a $5 discount bin bag? The next thing I would say if you're trying to spot a fake Louis Vuitton bag is take a look at the stamping. Now, the stamping is where it says Louis Vuitton Paris, where it says Made in France, where it says any writing that the Louis Vuitton bag has on it. Now, this writing itself is actually an imprint. It's stamped. And you'll see these impressions on the screen here. These are genuine bags, and you can see the imprinting is done very, very well. Louis Vuitton will have a consistent imprint, which means that one end will not be deeper imprinted than the other end. The font will also be consistent, and the style of writing will be the same. So take a look at that. On fake bags, it's often the stamping's off, the letters are oversized. It looks like the stamping was done as an afterthought. But on the real deal, the stamping is absolutely perfect. The other thing is, even though you may have a bag which is getting a bit on in age, the stamping should still be as perfect as the day you got it. The quality of the stamping doesn't change. Sure, it may get a bit scuffed around it from a bit of use and etc., but the actual stamping quality itself would not ever diminish. The next thing I advise if you want to spot that fake Louis Vuitton bag is take a look at the brassware. Louis Vuitton uses consistently high quality materials in the production of their handbags and bags, and the brassware should reflect this. On a lot of fakes, you get a thing called brassing. That's where the brass itself has worn away to reveal a metal substance underneath. Now, a lot of Louis Vuitton bags do have a lacquer cover over the top of the brassware, so that can get damaged over time. But what I'm talking about is where it's rubbed off and there's steel underneath it. Now, that's very unusual because Louis Vuitton does use genuine brass, and it's not brass plating, it's solid brass pieces, and even though it may have lacquer on it, it is still a solid brass piece. Whereas on the fakes, because they're trying to keep the price as low as possible, they would often just be a very inexpensive tin which has been brass plated, or even worse is where the tin has just basically been painted a brass colour, and often the colour is it's like fake. Well, I shouldn't say fake, I should say gold-plated items. Real gold has a certain colour to it, whereas the gold-plated items often are a bit too goldy because the plating process can't get the natural colour of solid gold pieces. The next way to tell a fake Louis Vuitton bag from a real one is the interior, because often with the interiors on fake bags, they're nowhere near like the genuine thing. So have a look inside and have a look at it. One telltale sign is the colour. Monogram pieces mainly use the orangey red sort of interior, and they also, you'll see one dead giveaway is where the mobile phone, if the bag has a mobile phone pouch, it's done in a certain way, just like it's being displayed on the screen here, whereas the fakes will often do it a very cheap way, and often that's a good telltale sign. Also have a look if you've got a batch code. It's a little piece of leather inside the handbag which has a code with 2 letters and 4 numbers. Now, the batch code basically tells you when the item was produced. And on fakes, the batch code can be crooked, it can be off-center, it can be all sorts of terrible things, whereas on the genuine item, the quality is always there, even on things like a batch code. The next thing to have a look at is the patina itself. And what I mean by that is that when you're looking at a brand spanking new bag, it will look a certain way. With genuine Louis Vuitton items, when they age, the leather, that's the natural leather, will get a beautiful honeycomb colour. Whereas on a lot of fakes, because they're using a low-grade leather, and often the leather has been painted in a varnish, it will never get that honeycomb age. Now, that's not to say that if the leather ages, the item is genuine. It's just one factor which points to whether the bag may be real or it may be fake. So the patina, a genuine bag, it will age with time. It'll get scratches, it'll get scuffed, but does it hold up? A lot of fake bags don't stand the test of time because they're assembled very cheaply and very poorly. And one of the best telltale signs is to take a look at the stitching on bags, because Louis Vuitton, every piece that's sewn onto a Louis Vuitton bag has a set number of stitches. The fake items are often done very, very cheaply, and they won't pay as close attention to the number of stitches on a bag, and often they'll double stitch things and stitches won't be consistent. So that's another telltale sign to look for. I hope you've enjoyed this video, how to spot a fake Louis Vuitton bag. If you want more information on Louis Vuitton, please come to my free reference library website, www.collectinglouisvuitton.com. Heaps of product reviews, heaps of information about collecting Louis Vuitton, and heaps of wonderful photos. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to my videos. I have heaps of new videos coming out, and I'd love to share them with you. Thanks very much.